From Muskegon, Michigan, on the eastern shores of Lake Michigan, it's the National Motorcycle Hill Climb Championship. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Bud Palmer, and welcome to Muskegon. We're gathered here today are the top 15 amateur and professional hill climb champions in the United States and Canada. Right now, I'm standing on part of the course. As you can see, it really is, the course is 310 feet long, and the degree of gradient is 40 degrees, which makes it really rough to ride up. This is a wildly exciting sport. As you can see, some of the contestants are checking the course right now. We'll be getting underway in just a moment. Here we start the professional event right now. First up is Gordon Mitchell, who is the leading professional with 115 points coming into the National Hill Climb. He's the top qualifier for the past 2 years, but he's never won the professional title. He's won the amateur title, and his father has won the professional title 11 times, and his father is still competing. Gordon Mitchell, the favorite here, on his first run. He'll get 3 runs altogether. Best time up to 310 feet is the one. Good run. It's a good run.
7.90. 7.90.
7.90 is the time. Now you get 3 rides apiece. If you have the top time, you can waive your turn until somebody beats it, and then step in and see if you can beat that time. This is Glenn Kyle, number 22, from Goshen, Indiana. He came into this with 67 points. He's in second place as far as the standings on the hill climbs held previously this year. He is the defending champion, was second here in 1962. These engines are 74 cubic inches, which is about 1/4 the size of your Bentley sedan. Then Carl winding it up. You get it really wound up, then you throw in the clutch and let her go. You lean forward at the start. If you didn't, you get so much traction out of that rear wheel that it would flip you right over backwards. He's attaching that cord, that thong, to his right hand, which if he lets go of the handlebars will automatically stop the engine. The defending champion taking off. The time to beat so far, 7.90 by Gordon Mitchell. So far, so good. By Glenn Kyle.
39 for the world champion, 8.39.
You're looking down from the top at the huge crowd at the base of the hill climb with the automobiles in the background. This is Kenny Hatton, Canadian champion. 7.90, the best time so far here in the first round. Set by Gordon Mitchell from York, Pennsylvania. Good start. Another good ride. .92, the time for Kenny Hatton. Gordy Mitchell still in the lead with 7.90. Getting ready now, attaching that thong to his wrist. So if he pulls his arm away or his wrist away, the bike will automatically stop. This is Joe Hemness from Cumberland, Maryland. He won the pro title in 1959 and 62. And he holds the record here, 6.74 seconds up to the top with Gordon Mitchell. Up to the top, 7.90. As you notice, as they go up the 310-foot course, they have 2 ditches up the course, and it makes it a lot more interesting, to say the least. The ideal ride is to get that front wheel off and ride with about off the ground all the way to the top, which is a complete impossibility considering how rutted this course is. Joe Hamilton. He's through the barrier, and that is the fastest time today. That makes him first and changes the position here. Gordon Mitchell goes to second. and Kenny Hatton is third with a time of 7.92. So the time to shoot at right now is 7.57. Mount Garfield is actually a huge sand dune on the shore of Lake Michigan. The first hill climb was tried here in 1920 when it was just sand. The idea was to see how far you could get to the top. There are the markers going up the side there, designating the number of feet up the hill. And you can see that little crest. Well, that's where the ditch is, the first ditch, about the 100-foot marker. And they have another one up further up the hill. We thought that you'd like to take a look at a typical Class A motorcycle, and there's a top one right here. The engine was built in 1939. 74 cubic inches is the size, which is approximately 1/4 the size of a typical family sedan. This engine, if set up for a bike on the flat, would drive the motorcycle at over 200 miles an hour. And burn wood alcohol, by the way. Now, for traction, as you can see, they have chains on the back wheel. This seems to be the preference here at Muskegon. Some of the bikes use knobby tires, but this seems to be the preference here for traction. Also, speaking of chains, as you'll notice that the bikes are chain-driven for more positive reaction to the gears. And also, depending upon the condition of the hill, you can change the gearing very quickly by changing the size of the two drive wheels. Now, this is the tank. As you can see, it's extremely small. All you need is enough alcohol to drive you up to the top of the hill. They vary in size from less than a quart to a little less than a gallon. Another special feature of these hill climbers is this thong. Now, you wear this thong, it's required as you're driving up the hill. And if your hand becomes separated from the bar, it automatically cuts out the engine so you won't have a runaway bike. But this little button here does the same thing. So that gives you some idea of a typical Class A 74 cubic inch hill climber. This one weighs a little over 300 pounds, and the weight varies from a little over 200 to over 400. There's a good combination you're looking at. Howard Mitzel on the left of your screen, 67 years old, one of the oldest competitors, I think, in the national event, talking with his son, Gordon Mitzel. There he is, 67 years old. Pretty good takeoff. There he goes through the finish line. Incredible to see a 67 years old competing in the National Hill Climb, going up in a very respectable 10.49. Howard Mitzel. Number 7, Willard Bryan from Groveport, Ohio, 1950 pro winner, and also won it in 49. He held a record on this hill until it was broken by Joe Hemist in 1959. Bad start. He's still trying to get up there. Imagine the traction on these bikes to keep on going at this 40-degree angle. He's going to go to the top, though. Brakes at the top. "25 seconds of time, and at the top he disappears in a cloud of dust." For many years, racing motor cars was in. Riding motorcycles was definitely out. Today, the social gap is narrowed. As a matter of fact, cycling has become a social, a family pastime. An event such as the National Hill Climb is an excuse for cyclists from all over the country to convene. This particular event drew more than 10,000 bucks who checked into a special, well-regulated village the day before the climb. Occasionally, a refugee from a trophy room rides in. But it's a good bet he won't be king of that hill. A family that cycles together arrives together, at least most of the time. But it's smart policy to count noses, especially after a big bump in the road. Junior here doesn't seem any worse for his ride. Doesn't even miss the traditional black leather jacket that is padded to serve as protection in case of a skid or if you're thrown from your machine. And the whole family is all set all together. In the afternoon, the cyclists get together, chat about motorcycles, new machines, and what's going on all over the country. Then some of the more energetic conventioneers go out into their own special political arena for some improvised racing. Look out there, Charlie. But puttering with valves and cylinders doesn't hold everyone's attention naturally. Others begin the job of setting up house. And it's amazing just how much you can get on one motorcycle. The wife, family, tent, cooking utensils. And when chow time comes along, you have to wonder how one of the more portly gentlemen in the village made it here on 2 wheels. Late in the day, the cycles of the hill climb competitors arrive. There are special machines and are vanned from event to event. They're checked and rechecked. And nothing is left to chance here. Tremendous pressures are placed on every inch of these machines. It's a short, rugged run up the hill, but it's steep and it's tough. And there it is. Here's the top qualifier here, Gordon Mitchell, trying to screen his eyes from the sun, which is falling down behind the brow of Mount Garfield here, trying to pick his line. He's now in second place. His time, 7.90. He's been the top qualifier here for the past 2 years, but he's never won the national championship. 8.38. Not as much control then. He wouldn't go as straight as he did on his first ride. And the time shows that his first time was 7.90. The second line here, second ride, is 8.38. And still the leader is Joe Hemis, 7.57 seconds. Starting up now is number 9, Kenny Hatton from Woodbridge, Ontario. He had the third best time of the first round, now stands in third position with a time of 7.92. Bounced around quite a bit. Oh, look at that. He just could not cut through the line. Stopped just in front of him. Very tough break for Kenny Hatton. Now, the next rider is supposed to be Joe Hemis, but since he is the leader right now, the time is 7.57, he can actually waive his position and perhaps not take another run unless somebody beats his time. It'd be foolish for him to take his run right now. He's going to wait till somebody beats his time, and then he has 2 runs still left. The old man of the mountain, Howard Mitchell, getting ready for his second run. 67 years old, as I mentioned before. It seems incredible, and here he is competing in a World's Professional Championship. Not this time. He got off to a poor start. He's all right. You can see the steepness of this hill as Howard Mitchell comes down. As mentioned, you cannot get a 4-wheel drive vehicle no way up this hill. Wouldn't go more than 10 or 20 feet. That's how steep it is. The gentleman looking up there with Muskegon Motorcycle Club is Dan Raymond, who's president of the club, has been since 1920. He's the man responsible responsible for this hill climb. Racing motorcycles and selling motorcycles has been his whole life. With me is Howard Mitchell, commonly referred to, and affectionately as so, as the old man of the mountains, who has won 11 hill climb championships. And Howard, you've been in them all, haven't you? Anyway, haven't you been in all the hill climb championships?
Yep, I've been in them all. But I had a lot of bad luck different times, and come out here High Point man, and I won it 4 times in this certain hill here, Muskegon. But a lot of times you break down the day of the championship.
Now, you couldn't have had too much hard luck if you won 11 of them.
Well, but I've been riding a long time.
How long have you been riding?
Well, it's 50 years.
Really?
50 years.
Now, somebody told me you were 67 years old.
That's how old I am.
Do you know of anybody else competing in a national championship of any size, shape, form, or variety who is as old as you are?
No, there's no older man in competition today. That's in active competition. So I'm the oldest one in competition. I should have my head examined. But this will be definitely my last hill climb.
Well, we'll wait and see, Howard Mitchell. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Here's Gordy Mitchell. His final chance here. He's won 18 coming into this. 18 championships. Pretty good so far. Like a good run. He's through.
It was a good line, but not quite fast enough. The time, 7.80.
7.80. And you can see the disappointment registered on the top by Gordy Mitchell. That is his best ride, 7.80, but not good enough to surpass the time of Joe Hemis, 7.57. Here goes number 9, Kenny Hatton, his final run. Right now he's in 4th place with a time of 7.92, which he picked up on his first run. Lost a little bit on the first hit. Good ride. We're waiting for the time right now. It's extremely fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have up until this point the new world champion. It is Kenny Hatton by 1/100th of a second. Joe Hemis's time, 7.57. Kenny Hatton's time, 7.56.
So Kenny Hatton, number 9, jumps into the lead here. Time of 7.56. Part of the real big crowd here. Son, with this breeze, if you can catch that piece of popcorn in your mouth, you're real good. There's our new leader, very excited down at the bottom of the hill, Kenny Hatton from Woodbridge, Ontario. He's won numerous Canadian championships, but has yet to win our championship, and he has a pretty good chance here, leading right now 7.56 seconds. Getting all set for his second ride now is Joe Hemis, who saw his time of 7.57 seconds go by the board on the great run of Kenny Hatton. Well, he's determined, isn't he? Notice the angle of his eyes. It shows you how steep it is. 20 feet of level ground, then he hits that 40-degree gradient for 310 feet. A smooth, straight ride is what does it. Good start. Whoa!
Let's give him a big hand.
Whale of a try by Joe Hemis. Bike just flew away from him. And here's Kenny Hatton. seeing his time stand up. Now he's got to go through it once more. Probably saying, boy, that Joe Hemis was really flying. Joe wants to check his bike, see whether it's okay. He can come down and try it again, which I'm sure he will do. He has one more chance to get ahead of Kenny Hatton if he can. Number 2, Joe Hemis going down. He'll try it again. Here's the big ride of the day coming up. Kenny Hatton, we're looking at number 9, who is the present Canadian champion. He's now the leader here with a time of 7.56 seconds. Now, Joe led on his first ride, had the best time all day long of 7.57 seconds, until on his final ride, Kenny Hatton eased through at 7.56 seconds, 1/100th of a second ahead of Joe Hemis. So this is the big ride of the afternoon. The final ride of Joe Hemis to see whether he can catch Kenny Hatton. Boy, he's trying. Pretty good so far. Great run. Can he make it? Whoa! Did he stop?
7.45, and it looks like a...
Joe Hemis wins it. Very excited. Won it on the last run. Look where his bike is. His bike almost went into Lake Michigan, dropping off the other side here. He hit the top so fast. There's not much area in which to stop. It's a tough break for Kenny Hatton. His time 7.56, but a beautiful ride up. The last time by Joe Hemis, the time 7.45 on the final run of the afternoon. And there he is, the new world hill climb champion. Well, the winner here, the national hill climb champion, Joe Hemis. And Joe, congratulations on a wonderful last ride. What were you thinking about going up
Winning,
there?
Bud. That's all, winning.
Would you pick a special line going up to beat that time of Kenny Hatton?
You try to follow your course. You can see so much of it from there. Of course, the top's pretty well. You don't know what it's like till you get there. To the bottom, I picked the course and got through it the way. You hit it sometimes you don't, but I hit it today.
Well, was it the same way you were going the other 2 rides or not? About the
No,
same
it
track?
was the same as my second ride, Bud. But the first ride I rode further on the right of the course, more right center. But this time I rode left
At
center.
the top, I thought you were going through Lake Michigan there for a
So
minute.
did I for a while.
Joe Hemis, congratulations to your 3rd World Championship, isn't it?
That's right, Bud.
Good. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Joe Hemis, who just won the National Hill Climb Championship here in Muskegon, Michigan. Bud Palmer is saying so long from the National Hill Climb Championship here in Muskegon, Michigan. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next week.
This is Gig Young. Tune in the Rogues tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central Time, here on NBC, the network of the stars.
Whoa, he almost went off there.